Oh, that's a pencil. And I've got a wee bit of light coming from over here. I'm here by myself. Never a good thing. And I've also just stolen one of Carlene's saltwater taffies, and it's lasting a lot longer than I thought. I wonder if I should turn that thing off. Hold on 1 second. Oh, for goodness sake, do not start annoying Wanda. I'm such a silly piggy. Oh my. Ooh. Back again. It's a wee bit better. Okay. Excuse me as I swallow that toffee. Penny, penny, penny. Honestly. I know. Excuse me. So, I'm trying something different tonight. Penny. She's resting. You're not restful. Honestly. You really need to send me questions, because otherwise it's just going to be me talking to myself. Because there's nobody else. And that's a very sad state of affairs. Okay. So what I'm trying to do today, because I've only got one phone, obviously. Oi! Go lie down. Yes, you. Go lie down with Larky. No. No, we're not doing this. So, oh gosh. I'm going to have to try and keep up the questions on this blinking computer. Ooh. I'm trying to watch Carlene's computer, which you'll be glad to hear is going in for a very long overdue service. So it will be disappearing. And I am speaking into this thing here. So, and it's a bit too up close. Yeah. So, bear with me. Janine did get a new computer, and all I know about it is that it has a 16-inch screen. And that's it. That's as far as my in-depth knowledge goes. It's not quite set up, but I think she's working on it. Oh my gosh, how do I keep up with these blinking questions here? Oh gosh. Right. Carlene is fine. She is a touch bored. Janine went in to see her this morning, and that went well. I can see the questions, but I'm not having much success on this blinking computer here, because it just doesn't want to do anything with it. Animals that went to Trask, it was the dogs that went to Trask today. And Mary, very sadly, has left. A member of her family came a week early, so she's had to leave a week early, which is exceptionally disappointing for us, because we love having Mary here, and she's such a wonderful person with the animals and the people. I mean, let's face it, you've got to be good with us, otherwise it's dismal. So we very sadly have lost Mary until 2025, and she's hoping, everything going well, to be back here around about March. And the exciting thing about that is that she will be bringing her brother with her, and her brother apparently is exceptionally good at framing things. So that's a tremendous skill that we very definitely need. So he's going to come and volunteer a week for us. So that's fantastic. I have no idea, Linda, how many people were seen at Trask today, and it was only Judy that went. Carlene has not had her surgery, and in fact it's not even scheduled yet. We just know that she's going to be having keyhole surgery, and that will probably hold her in rehab until that has been accomplished. So I'm trying to keep up with the questions, and I know I asked for them. So that is good, and it will get her all up at it and in the best possible condition. Carlene does not watch MailChat because I have no idea. but she does not watch MailChat. She does, however, watch. She watches the cameras, and she said, yes, Hilda, there are packages and a little bit of mail. Well, in fact, there's one bit of mail and one package. I'm not doing that just now because I'm trying to keep up with the questions, so I will get there, but please remind me. So she doesn't watch MailChat, but she watches the cameras. And then she sent me a really cheeky message, and she said, you know, you're the only person on the farm now. I was like, actually, there's Nick. He was like, yeah, me and the goats. So yes, so until Gwen gets here at the weekend, it's just me and Nick. Heaven help us. And Wanda is here because Janine will be flying back, and what Janine needs to be able to do is, should there be an emergency, which we're not expecting there to be, is to jump on any flight possible. So it's not conducive to taking Miss Wanda, because there are some flights, believe it or not, that do not allow Wandas on the plane. So that's the reasoning behind leaving Wanda here. And anyway, she's got to supervise the farm, so that's just how that goes. So this morning, Judy took the dogs out to Trask, which I think went exceptionally well. And tomorrow we have, I think it's Oceanside tomorrow, and Judy will go and do Oceanside tomorrow as well. Then at the moment, if I'm going on the paper calendar, there's nothing on Thursday and Friday, which is a bit of a blessed relief, because I do actually have something happening on Friday. Yep, it'll come back to me, hopefully before Friday. So yes, we're all just keeping the plates spinning. Carly and Mike, I have no idea where Carly and Mike are. I presume doing whatever they do during the day. I think Janine has arranged with Mike to come in and just feed and muck while she's away. But if there's any problems with that, I'll step in with Nick and we can cover that as well. No, I did the barn this evening, both barns and the goats, so I'm not sure. I don't think Carly's doing the barn, I think it's Mike. But you know what? We'll all get a surprise tomorrow morning. Nobody will know what to expect. Right, yes, I know. And I have looked at the weather, and I really get very, 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 very worried about wind. Online calendar has hunt rehab on Thursday. Maybe, could be. Maybe is hunt on Thursday. So yes, I think it's going to be very wet. We've been fortunate in that it was exceptionally wet overnight, which managed to generate a lot of mud, but we're really looking for surface water that will hopefully go down and replenish what we've been missing. We're very muddy at the moment. We also had a lovely crispy surface of ice, just to add to the challenge. So you didn't know whether or not you were going to slip in the mud or you were going to slip in the ice. Always fun. And the weather's actually not bad. I mean, it's not atrocious. We're not digging ourselves out quite yet, and we're all nice and toasty and warm. So that is good. Yes, thank goodness we don't have as many trees. And so stormy rain and wind is fantastic. My poor wee chickens. I had one chicken today, and honestly, I was just watching her. Sorry, she was on the top of a wooden fence, and the wooden fence is obviously at an angle because everything's at an angle here. And she was standing there, and she was trying to take off to fly, and she slid, and she kept going all the way back, and she would edge up, and then go all the way down. So so that was super fun, but she did eventually make it, which was good. So, have I thought about writing a book? No, I have not, because quite frankly, I don't think I've got time to write a book. It takes me about an hour. I sit on a wee iPad in the morning. I get up at 6:30 to start that daily doggy. So I have to do my dogs first. I have to do the chickens and all the other little bits and pieces that you do in the morning. Then I make a cup of coffee, and then I get my wee iPad out. And I sit there. Now, bear in mind that another skill that I do not have is typing in any way, shape or form. My version of typing is this, da, 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 and I cross my fingers. You know, it is not a skill. And so I just sit there and I tap away, and it takes me about an hour. And then I'm so persnickety, I have to go back and check that my spelling's correct, because I do have a habit of putting in English, or is it British English instead of American English? So I'm trying very hard to accommodate that. But I will tell you, one of the things that's really difficult is that you sit there and you think to yourself, it looks right to me, but does it look right to me sort of like 15 years prior, or does it look right to me at this precise moment in time? Honestly, it's one of those things. I do sit and question myself quite regularly. And I couldn't possibly dictate like Carlene does, because there's so much noise going on in the house. I had Bartholomew in the house the other day, and I brought him in overnight because one of the roosters had got into his area and they had obviously been fighting. I will suggest that Bartholomew does not know when to back down. He is small yet mighty. And he... All right, come on. Do not annoy her. Up. You've got to jump. I've got to catch her. Come on, hurry up. Penny, nose out the way. Go on, Wands. Whoa, got her. So I had to go and rescue him the other night, and he was supposed to be going out on a job the following morning, and they'd obviously been going at each other's combs, and his feathers, given the fact that he's white, they were stained red, and I thought, this is never, ever good. So I brought him in, I cleaned him all up, I gave him a cuddle, and I put him in with the one of the dogs in the sunroom, and in his own dog crate, I might add, just to be careful. And my poor daughter came downstairs at 5 o'clock in the morning. She said she got ever such a shock because he crowed at her, and she was like, oh my God, there's something in the sunroom. Like, it was Bartholomew. So he's quite delightful, but he's now back outside, still looking to take on the enormous rooster, silly boy. So that was all super fun. The dogs will just stay in here. They're perfectly happy. They can go in and out onto the deck. I've been in here since about half past 4, I think. They've had their dinner. I'll stay with them for a little while, and then Nick or I will come back over at 8:30 for a period of time, and then they'll all go to sleep. And in fact, sometimes when we come over later on, they just put their heads up, open their mouths for their cookie, and then they go back to sleep. Penny will stay in the crate, and the reason Penny will stay in the crate, which has it's about twice the size of Penny, and it's double height because it is actually a full-size Great Dane crate. But the reason Penny stays in the crate is that she has a little habit of nibbling at things. So to keep her safe, she will stay there. And then Judy is here. Oh my gosh, what time's Judy here? She's normally here round about 6, sometimes even earlier. So she will take them out and she will feed them, and then she takes them for a run around down at the parking pit. And then if they're going to Oceanside, it's dogs that are going out, so they will go out. And on the days that Judy is not here, that's a spider, and now you've killed it. Now it's definitely going to rain if you follow that superstition. Oh, Penny. You better eat that up. Protein. Anyway, so then on the days that Judy isn't here, I will come over at 7 o'clock and I will give them their breakfast as per usual, and I will speak to them then, and then they can go in and out. So they're perfectly happy, and quite frankly, with the weather we've got at the moment, getting them to go out is a bit of a challenge. They don't like windy, they don't like wet, and icy isn't much fun either. So it's quite the fun days, isn't it, Wanda? Isn't it, darling? I know, these are my wee Wanda pants. You're my wee buddy. This is my wee travel buddy. You're my travel buddy, aren't you? We go away to the auctions. So lots of exciting things happening. And oh my gosh, yes. So yes, those daily doggies take me quite some time because I'm technologically not very advanced. That's why when Janine says to me in the morning, "What are you doing?" and I'm like, "I'm still writing." And my brain goes like my brain goes faster than my fingers. So Janine is travelling on her way down to South Carolina at this precise moment in time. She has a 10-hour trip, and she left at, she was supposed to be leaving at midday, but she left it after 2:30. So, because that's what happens when you're on a farm. You always find another little job just to complete before you leave. The South Carolina, she needs to take her car back down there or leave her car down there. It is obviously registered in South Carolina, so that was essential to get that down by the end of the year. She also has a few repair jobs still to go. There was always, before Carleen actually fell ill, one of the plans that we had was that Janine would take maybe Miss Delight, and I think she was thinking about one of the smaller donkeys. It would probably have been Charlie. She would take her horses down, and she would take those two animals down specifically because she would carry on the outreach program in South Carolina, because there's a lot of places that would welcome a visit from those animals. But given the fact that Carleen is obviously in rehab at the moment, and also I suppose I think coming into the new year, we're probably going to be all hands on deck for quite some period of time. It's this year, it's just a bit of a whitewash for her being able to get away. But she does have an event happening in February, which I think will require her to have a bit of downtime, which is good. And so we need to get lots of things up and organised. Now, of course, normally when Janine and I travel in the car, that's when we put the world to rights, the Goldy's Farm world, the Equine Rescue Network world, the Who's on What Farm world, and we really actually shouldn't write anything down on the trip down the way, because we should save it for the trip up the way, because we change our mind so many times and we come up with a better idea. So we do sit and have a chit chat on the way down, and put the barns to rights, and then the way up we go, actually, do you know what would be a really good idea? So that's what we do. I think Gwen is coming. My gosh, I don't know if it is Friday or Saturday. Yes, 8:30 is 8:30. Yes, because we say 8:15 and things like that. In fact, when I first moved here, I had a terrible time, because I think what it seems to be, people say, what's it, 10 off? And I always think that's 10 after, but apparently 10 off is 10 before. No idea. So people used to give me times, and I'd have to say, is that like sort of like 8:50? People would go, no, it's 10 off. Okay. None the wiser. So totally and utterly lost in translation. We always have help at Meredith. We are super fortunate in that. This is why I keep going on about this volunteer team we have. We have the tiniest volunteer team for one very large farm, and honestly, I tell you who it is. It's me. I go in the evenings. It is Kate, and Kate goes every single day because she maintains two very special horses, and also she does chores for the whole barn on a Tuesday and a Thursday and a Saturday and Sunday, and then she comes back. She very often meets up with me in the evening, and we have a very lovely time. We have Coral, who comes on a Friday. We have Pam, who comes on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. And we have Ava, who goes down every day to do feet, horse feet. And then we have Janine, and Janine goes down. She does weekend chores, and she's always there, normally 7 days a week as well, just making sure we're all quite happy. But that place runs. Oh, and we've also got Emily who volunteers on a. Sorry, Emily. She volunteers on a Sunday, and we have Corey down here. And what Corey does, his poor Corey, she is the animal happiness gnome, because she goes around and makes sure everybody's happy and gives us a report about misbehaviour. And when we have animals in, her brother, he put rocks in the paddocks for her, because what she does is she goes and sits in with all the really very uptight and very nervous animals, and some of them are feral, you must remember. She goes and she sits on the rocks with treats or grain, and she hand feeds them, and that is somebody who has a tremendous amount of patience and a tremendous love for animals, because quite frankly, you can sit on a very cold, jaggy rock for quite some time, and I'm talking about days here, not hours, until anybody comes over and actually chooses to eat from your hand. So we have the loveliest team. That team has been together for a good number of years now, which is very fortunate, and we just keep it going. Kate has just been away on a hot vacation, which sounds horrific, and she is back today, which is super. So everybody fills in for one another, and it's a really lovely, just a lovely environment, and that's really what we're choosing to mirror down here on Goldy's farm. We like people who work with the animals to be happy with what they're doing, and it's a very positive place, Meredith, and that's what Goldy's farm is, and it will be apparent as we move forward. So we are going to we're going to have lots of changes, lots of hard work, but that's not something that we're unaccustomed to, so easy peasy pants. And so Meredith, which is I think probably in comparison to what we have here, and Meredith, we are very, very fortunate to have lots and lots and lots and lots of paddocks. And we have, on the main barn, we have the middle floor, and the middle floor is absolutely splendid. It has a heated tack room, and it has a bathroom. It has a utility sink and a washer and a dryer, which makes attending to animals who are going through cleaning cloths, medical wraps, etc., and blankets, really exceptionally easy. The farm used to have Shire horses on it, so they were really big horses. So all of the stalls are oversized. So we have on the main floor of the first part of the barn, there are 4 stalls. A hay area, which takes about 150 bales of hay. And we have obviously that phenomenal space with our big leather couch and our fridge that is absolutely filthy. And then we also have a feed room, which is splendid. Then in the second half of the barn, up a slight ramp, we have another 2 enormous stalls, and then 2 supersized stalls. And those supersized stalls we think were probably birthing stalls. So one of them has the doors the full height, but there's a cutout like here, so a foal or a small horse or a small donkey can put its head through. It's quite lovely, and it's just absolutely splendid. So we are exceptionally fortunate. So that's got 6, 7, 8 stalls in it. We have the bee barn, and it is a big open stall with a sliding door that goes out into a paddock, and it takes at least 2 big horses, maybe 4 small donkeys, that sort of size. We have the ice house, and the ice house is where Momo used to live. Chester is in there at the moment with Gertie and the 2 alpacas, and who are Rusty and Oreo, and Irie. That's where they stay during the day. And it is also super because it big sliding door, bad weather, you can close everybody inside, and there's enough room for everyone. Then we come down to the sheep barn, and the sheep barn is an enormous big sliding door, a very open, large open barn, and all the sheep and the goats and the two big mules. Well, Enzo's not a big mule, he's a mini mule, he is just big in personality. And Ted, they go in there at night time. And over the other side from that, we have a big run-in shed, and the run-in shed, it has 2 horses in it at the moment. Across the road, we have an enormous paddock with an oversized run-in shed that we use for quarantine and for any animals that really don't like being enclosed inside. It is super. So it's about 4 times the size of what we've got on here, and it is maintained by one person in the morning and really one person in the evening. It's a tremendous undertaking, and we are just so lucky that we have capable, reliable, and just phenomenal people. And the animals are exceptionally lucky. And we're also exceptionally lucky to have access to that property in the first place. And are they all sanctuary? They've all come from rescue. The majority of them are sanctuary. I'm trying to think. The difficulty is, it sounds a bit silly to say, but we don't actively go looking for homes for the animals. We choose to adopt the animals out if a really suitable, phenomenal home comes to us and asks. And we're fortunate to be in that position, and that we find it tends to be that people who are looking to adopt come find us, and that's a very fortunate situation. In fact, the last 2 animals, I had a phenomenal home come, and they were looking for a donkey. And the funny thing was, I had Betty White there at that precise moment in time, and unbeknownst to me, she had just lost her white draft mule. Now, white draft mules are quite unusual because it was a white Percheron cross, and the lady, who was extremely experienced, she's, I would say, at the forefront of care, as in if there's any chance that animal would do well with a treatment, she's all over it. It's the most phenomenal home. And she came for a donkey and went way home with a donkey and a draft mule. That draft mule I would have chosen not to rehome, because she was my Miss Betty Not So White. But you can't deny an animal a home that you just know is going to be eminently hands-on, so suitable, and such a wonderful experience for that animal. So that's really how we're choosing to rehome our animals. If the opportunity comes a knocking and it's a phenomenal home, then that's what we do. So yes, they're all kind of hanging around in the sanctuary. We like animals to have jobs because it keeps them active, it keeps them fit. Animals, or equines in particular, if they're left in the paddock, they tend to just stand and munch. Yeah, because they're quite content standing munching. So that's why we have our phenomenal love and affection and caregiving team that comes in the evening, who, they come in and they groom and they pet the animals, and they just give them, so much personalized attention, and it's working out really nicely. I'm going to say that, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood, in case I jinx us, then Janine will smack me. So yeah, it's a really nice experience. Wanda cannot stay with me tonight because Wanda causes merry hell with my dogs. Don't you? Yes, you do. She's in charge. So if we all want a night's sleep, Wanda will not be staying. So she'll stay over here, and she's quite happy to be ruling the roost here. So Miss Betty White is actually living just up in New Hampshire, and the lady keeps in contact. So yes, in fact, a lot of people keep in contact. It's really lovely. So let me see. Oh, Sizzle and Larky are sleeping. Sorry, they've been busy. They're in their beds, and I am not moving this phone because I'm well known for dropping things. Yes, I do have mail. So if you've got any other questions, or if I've missed questions, they're just scrolling all the way down here. Honestly, I can't keep up, and I can't seem to get them to lift up again. Somebody had asked about Carleen. What was she up to? I can't remember what that question was. If you've got any questions about Carleen, ask, because I can't answer what I know. How long is Janine gone? At this precise moment in time, a week. So she'll be back next Wednesday. And I think, in all honesty, this has to be the time that, and this has to be flexible, because while Carleen is in rehab and waiting for this keyhole surgery, this is really going to be the only time for her to be able to move and get things sorted down there. And it's important that she's able to attend to the property in Aiken as well, and get it winterised and ready to go forwards. So that's what she's taking that opportunity to do. So that's good. And we're actually technically all covered here. It's not really a worry. And we always come through, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Now, Carleen is probably still making sugar attempts. Yes. I don't actually understand this, and it must be a family thing, and I have no idea whether or not Gwen does this, if Gwen does this. But when they order their coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, they say, yeah, can I have 2 sugars in that? And then, without fail, they pick up sugar packets, and then they load the coffee with even more sugar packets. And I don't understand that. I don't see why they don't just say, well, can I just have 5 sugars in that? And then job is done, and you don't have to, I don't know. Anyway. Right, so this is our only card, and it is from, my gosh, I can't see just one eye is good. One eye. Barbara Devereaux, who is in New York. Right. I've already opened this, and this is to Carleen. Oh, I'm going to need the glasses again. Happiness is knowing you're on the road to recovery. Hope someone will deliver this greeting to you, and know that I am happy to hear you're doing nicely in your recovery. Wish it could be quicker for you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'll take that card into her. She can put it with her collection of cards. Yes, I think it's actually their sugar with a touch of coffee, but we'll not discuss that. Is Carleen expected home by Christmas? I really don't know. I think a lot of it will depend upon how she's feeling, and also how quickly they get through this keyhole surgery. I think that might tie things up a little bit, but it's we're in a bit of a catch-22 situation, to be honest. It would be absolutely phenomenal for Carleen to be back at home, and I think everybody wants to be back at home. And she has days where she's exceptionally happy where she is, and then days when she gets bored. Although I will tell you, the days when she gets bored, she just sends texts about what she's seen on the camera, which is actually very amusing. So she's still in contact, so it is good. And I think while there's things still up in the air here, and it's getting icier, I think sometimes, if we could bring her home straight into down the hill, that would be probably a pretty good situation. But then that's an awful long time to ask someone, so we just have to play it by ear and wait and see. Now, Susan, your box did come in, and look, there are 6 of these, and these are our I know, Wanda, these are the tubs that we take out into nursing homes when we're using our frying pans. So thank you very much for keeping us rolling and tummies full. That's much appreciated. One other parcel, and this is for Janine when she comes back up. These are for Janine and Judy, and they are leggings to go with to go underneath their elf suits because they're going to need them in Christmas week. So thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Now, excuse me. Any more questions? Wanda, what do you think? Have you got any questions? Breakfast at 7 suit you? Breakfast at 7? Yes. She says yes. That would be lovely. Anyway, Wanda, don't tell anyone. She's just availing herself of Carlene's seat while she's away. It's at least the camera doesn't stretch into here. That would be fun. So, I think I might be as up to date as I possibly can be. Oh, how old is Wanda? She's 16. She must be 17 now, I think. Thank you, Susan. That's perfect. They're very much appreciated. This is an interesting question because Janine and I were actually just talking about renovations and changes that we would make to the barn. Now, please bear in mind that when we talk about renovations and changes and moving animals and doing this, that, and the other, we always start having a wonderful, this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to arrange it, who's going to be in charge, boom, boom. And then in a few hours' time, it all turns around and we all change our mind and we do something completely and utterly different. But I think one of the things that we were talking about today was the fact that we don't know what we're getting back, apart from the fact it's a barn. There's barns, there's all the space, we've got the ICU. We have a suspicion that probably what we're going to have to start doing is actually clearing things out and emptying things. If that's the case, that's just going to be the first step. Should everything be cleared out and ready just to inhabit, I'm not even sure that we'll do much in the initial part. It would definitely probably be the internal part of the barn because, quite frankly, it could be cold and we could be under snow. And nobody likes to be cold and under snow when they're trying to do things that require their fingers and a little hammer. That's never fun. So we'll play it by ear. We're in no rush to amend things at this precise moment in time, as long as we leave it watertight and that we're not creating any further damage. I would like to think that they're probably going to have to take all those new dog doors that they put in the barn because they were. That was a lot of money, and it's it's important for them to be able to move ahead and get going. So they'll need to strip those out, which will obviously leave us with a hole in the barn. So that's something we'll have to attend to. There's a lot of things. I don't think that we'll make decisions about what we're doing. There's the potential that Wallace might be coming in. I don't think Wallace will come in at this part of the year when the weather is so absolutely horrible. And I know that Wallace is very busy in another business, not a horse-related business. So at this precise moment in time, we're not going to rush into making sure that he's all accommodated because he doesn't need it right now, we don't think. But if he needs it, it's there for him, so it's not a problem. We'll have to accommodate our animals, and we can accommodate them in the space that we have at the moment. Our main focus is going to be getting Carlene into the laundry, and that's going to be the main focus and the main amount of work and the main amount of input and the main amount of time and energy spent. So that's an important job, and that's one to get right straight away so that we can get that fully functional. It is a big jigsaw puzzle, and it's good fun doing jigsaw puzzles. The ICU would not be a good alternative to the laundry for Carlene. I don't know why I say that, because you know what, plans change all the time. So I can emphatically state that it will not be a good, and then the next thing is who's in the ICU, but Carleen. The problem with the ICU at this precise moment in time is it doesn't have bathroom facilities. That's problematic. I don't think you can actually legally live in a facility that doesn't have bathroom facilities. I'm not sure about that though. We do of course have the composting toilets, so we would be able to accommodate down there, but I don't even know what the inside of the ICU building looks like. I've never been in it. It might have running water for all I know, but I do know that they come outside to use the sink outside, so I'm presuming there maybe isn't running water inside. So that's another thing to take into account. Is the laundry a home or is it just a building? Well, Janine actually used to live in the laundry. And there used to be somebody else who used to live upstairs in the laundry. I think that Janine used to be in her bedroom was in Lynn's office actually. So it has been lived in, and it has a fully functioning bathroom, with shower, etc. So it's actually set up for living. It also has a place for a stove. So that's important. Yeah. So I think it's actually. I personally don't think it's going to take too long to get it sorted out, because I think as Carleen herself would admit, she actually likes everything pretty basic and close to hand. So it's going to be suitable. We just need to secure the, I think, now don't quote me on this because I could also be wrong about this, I think there might be 3 slots for dogs to come out into the outside into Honeymoon Hill. I think it's 3 anyway. So we would need to make those weatherproof and get them functioning. One of the things that has become quite noticeable here is that when that Bud fixed the door sliders so that the dogs can have an area to come in and out on the deck, and yes, Wanda can use it. The difficulty you have is that it's also quite drafty, because that's not what it's meant for. So that's something that we don't want Carleen to be sitting in the middle of a draft from 3 different areas. So we need to make sure that we've got that up and running, and we only need 1 access point. We don't need 2. So that's something that we'll probably have to fix sooner rather than later. And also the it's not windows it's got a rolling garage door. So my experience with garage doors is that they're not particularly well insulated, so that will have to be accommodated as well. Anyway, lots to do and lots for Carleen to be pondering and getting in order. I think she does have the gentleman coming ASAP to finish off the flooring in there, because she likes to have it epoxied, so that's great. And then the rest of it, I think we could probably work around as she's in there. So it's very exciting. So that's what we're up to. I thought Pam lived in the laundry building. Yeah, I'm not sure if Pam was upstairs or if she was downstairs. Yeah. So I am not overly familiar with the size. Somebody is going to be better placed to explain comparison size-wise. I will say that what Carleen, as you know, Lisa, uses in the cabin is the kitchen space, the bathroom space, and the sitting room space, and the laundry. She does not partake in either of the bedrooms. And in fact, one of the bedrooms here, the bedroom on the first level here is actually full of things. Janine and I are not aware of what sorts of things are in it. I think probably Judy knows, but it's full of things, and Carleen has not set foot in it. So that's So that's good. Yeah. Carly and Mike, I think, are probably going to still be upstairs in the laundry when Carly moves in, but that will always be an apartment as far as we're aware. And, you know, it's their arrangement is totally separate to Goldy's farm now. It's not part of Goldy's farm. It's you know, they have an arrangement to lease that, or to rent whatever term you used to that accommodation. And Mike has agreed with Janine that if she needs help in the barn, she'll pay him an agreed amount to cover that. So that will not really be part of Goldy's farm. There will always be somebody up there, we expect. So, it's smaller. Yes. But I think I'm wondering, Jerry, if you can answer this for me, actually, because I'm not 100% sure. If you took off from the cabin, if you took off the bedroom on the ground floor and the bedroom upstairs, because Carleen doesn't access either, is it of a comparable size or is it still smaller? That's what I'm not sure. I think it's plenty big for Carleen and what she wants to use it for, because you must also remember she has claimed kennel 9 and 10 as her well, she's claimed kennel 9 and 10. She has building 25, and yes, so, and the attic space apparently in the ICU. So I'm not really very sure, but you know what? It's all going to become very apparent. So lots to look forward to, lots of work to do. Right, so I am going to go because Nick, the absolute charmer that he is, has promised me a little burl around Market Basket to buy the groceries. Yep, I cannot contain my excitement. I absolutely detest shopping for anything, well, other than horsey and animal accoutrements. Okay, there we go. So we'll see you all tomorrow, and if we're not blown away overnight, that is. And good night from Wanda, because Wanda's going to go for sleepies. You going to go for sleepies? Yeah, you'll go, girl. And everyone else has actually gone to sleep. Excellent. See you all later. Bye-bye.